There's a principle that sits at the foundation of every successful life, every profound transformation, every moment when someone breaks free from limitation and steps into abundance. And it's not complicated. It's not some secret technique or hidden knowledge. It's something simple, something you've heard 1,000 times but maybe never truly understood in its depth. And it's this, the power of positive thinking. Most people hear that phrase and roll their eyes. They think it's toxic positivity, wishful thinking, pretending everything's fine when it's not. They think it means ignoring problems or being naive about reality or putting on a fake smile while everything falls apart around them. But that's not what positive thinking actually is. That's not the power I'm talking about. Real positive thinking, the kind that actually changes your life, it's something far more profound than just feeling good or being optimistic. It's a conscious effort to align your internal world with the reality you want to create externally. Let me show you what I mean. Before we go any further, you need to understand something fundamental about how change actually happens. Because most people have it backwards. They think change works from the outside in. They think if they can just change their circumstances, then they'll be able to think differently, feel differently, be different. But that's not how it works. Change on the outside requires a conscious effort to positively think on the inside. The external world is a reflection of your internal state. Your circumstances are showing you what you've been thinking, what you've been believing, what you've been identifying with. And if you want those circumstances to change, you have to change the thinking that created them. This isn't just philosophy. This isn't just spiritual talk. This is how consciousness actually operates. Your thoughts create your reality. Not sometimes. Not just the big thoughts. All of them. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. And here's what makes positive thinking so powerful. When you consciously choose to think in ways that align with what you desire, when you discipline your mind to focus on thoughts that serve your highest good, you're literally creating the conditions for your external reality to shift. But positive thinking isn't just about you doing it alone. It's about recognizing that you're not separate from the creative force of the universe. Please let God use your mind. And when I say God, I'm talking about that infinite intelligence, that creative power, that source energy that flows through everything. Think of God in the context of your desires. Don't ever feel separated from it. Most people treat God or the universe or source as something external, something they have to ask permission from or convince or please. But that's the separation that blocks everything. You are not separate from God. God is the consciousness operating through you. Your desires come from that divine source. And when you align your thinking with those desires, you're allowing God to work through you, to create through you, to manifest through you. There's a verse in the Bible, John 15 verse 4, that captures this perfectly. Abide in me and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself, unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. You're the branch. God is the vine. And when you abide in that connection, when you don't feel separated from source, when you think from that unified consciousness, you bear fruit naturally. Your desires manifest naturally, not through struggle or force, but through alignment. This is why someone like Nero Knowledge often says something along the lines of, any thought that doesn't serve you is there to control you. Because any thought that's not positive is negative. There's no neutral. Either a thought is serving your highest good, aligning you with your desires, moving you toward the life you want to create, or it's controlling you, keeping you stuck, reinforcing the very patterns you're trying to break. Think about the thoughts you allow to run through your mind all day. Thoughts about lack, about struggle, about limitation. Thoughts about how hard things are, how long it takes, how you're not good enough or smart enough or lucky enough. Those thoughts aren't neutral observations. They're not just harmless commentary. They're creative forces that are shaping your reality. And if you're not consciously choosing positive thoughts, if you're just letting your mind run on autopilot, accepting whatever thoughts show up, then you're being controlled. By old conditioning, by past experiences, by fear and doubt and limitation. Your thoughts are running you instead of you running your thoughts. But positive thinking is about taking back that control. It's about consciously choosing thoughts that serve you, that align with your desires, that create the reality you want to experience. Now, when I say think positively, I don't just mean feel good or be optimistic or look on the bright side. I mean think in ways that imply your desires are already fulfilled. Think in ways that require you to put less effort into things. Think in ways that bring you ease instead of struggle. This is what positive thinking actually is. It's thinking from the end. It's thinking as someone who already has what you want. It's thinking thoughts that create internal ease instead of internal tension. For example, all circumstances work in my favor. That's a positive thought. Not because it's optimistic, but because it implies that everything happening is for your benefit, that the universe is on your side, that you don't have to fight or force or stress because things are naturally working out. Or, God will always tell me what to do. That's positive thinking. And it shifts your entire internal state from effort and struggle to trust and ease. These aren't just nice-sounding affirmations. These are thoughts that, when genuinely believed and felt, completely transform your internal state. And your internal state is what creates your external reality. Most people think thoughts like, I have to make this happen, or this is going to be so hard, or I hope this works out, or what if I fail? And those thoughts create an internal state of stress, doubt, effort, struggle. And that internal state creates an external reality that matches it. More struggle, more obstacles, more reasons to doubt. But when you consciously choose to think thoughts like, everything is working in my favor, and I'm being guided, and this is easy for me, you create an internal state of ease, trust, and alignment. And that internal state creates an external reality that matches it. Things flow, doors open, solutions appear, not because you're forcing them, but because you're aligned with them. This is the power of positive thinking. It's not about denying problems or pretending everything's perfect. It's about consciously choosing thoughts that create the internal conditions for your desires to manifest. And here's what you need to understand. Your quality of thought is your quality of life. Not your circumstances, not your bank account, not your relationships or your career or anything external. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your experience. If your thoughts are constantly negative, constantly focused on lack and limitation and struggle, your life will feel hard. It will feel like you're pushing uphill. It will feel like nothing ever works out. Not because that's objectively true, but because that's the reality your thoughts are creating. But if you discipline your mind to think positively, to focus on thoughts that imply fulfillment and ease and alignment, your life will feel different. It will feel like things flow. It will feel like you're supported. It will feel like doors open at the right time. Not because you got lucky, but because you created the internal conditions for that to be your experience. So here's what I want you to do. Start paying attention to your thoughts. Not judging them, not fighting them, just noticing them. And when you notice a thought that doesn't serve you, a thought that implies lack or struggle or separation from your desires, consciously choose a different thought. Choose a thought that implies your desires are fulfilled. Choose a thought that brings you ease instead of effort. Choose a thought that reminds you that you're not separate from God, from Source, from the creative power that's flowing through you right now. Think thoughts like, all circumstances work in my favor. Let that sink in. Feel what it would be like if that were absolutely true. Let that thought create ease in your body, trust in your mind, peace in your heart. Think thoughts like, I'm always guided to what I need. Feel the relief of that. The freedom of knowing you don't have to figure everything out alone. The trust that comes from being connected to something greater. Think thoughts like, the universe is conspiring for my highest good. Let that reshape how you see challenges, obstacles, delays. They're not evidence that things aren't working. They're part of the perfect unfolding that's working in your favor. This is positive thinking. Not fake positivity. Not denial. But a conscious choice to align your thinking with the reality you want to create. A disciplined practice of choosing thoughts that serve you instead of control you. A recognition that you're not separate from the creative force that's manifesting through you. Your quality of thought is your quality of life. So choose your thoughts wisely. Choose them consciously. Choose them positively. And watch how your external reality begins to shift to match the internal reality you're creating through the power of your thinking.